Hello, my loves. My name is Sonia, and on this channel, we talk about feminine energy, law of attraction, self development, and inner work. Today's topic is the dark side of doing inner work, but it's totally worth it. We're going to be more in our dark feminine energy today, and I love this. The first thing that's going to happen when you do the inner work is you're going to lose people. And not only people, you're going to lose friends. Of course, this does not apply to all your friends. There's going to be some people, some special friends that are going to go with you. And this is amazing. But unfortunately, you're going to lose friends and even long-term friendships. Even if you were very close in high school and you have lovely memories together, not everybody's on the same page. And as you start changing, as you start leveling up, your friends are going to perceive a little bit of resistance, almost as if they want to keep you as you were. And they don't really accept the fact that you're changing, that you're evolving, that maybe you're making more money, you're becoming more beautiful, you're becoming more confident. They want to keep you at the same level. And not everybody has bad intentions. Some friends just don't want to lose you. But be very careful because, yes, jealousy is possible. And as soon as you start perceiving little signs like this, unfortunately, the friendship is over. You're raising your standards now and you no longer tolerate disrespect. If a friend says or does something that upsets you, now you speak up because you respect yourself. You can no longer stay quiet just to keep the friendship. So you have to be detached, not in a cold way. You love your friends, and if it was for you, you would bring them with you forever. But unfortunately, when you start leveling up and doing the inner work, you're going to leave some people behind. In the same way, now you can easily spot toxic behaviors and red flags everywhere, and you no longer accept them. It could be a backhanded compliment, something like, "Oh, you seem very smart for somebody who doesn't have a degree." Something like this, where you can perceive there's a little bit of jealousy or a desire to bring you back at their level. And remember that if somebody tries to bring you back, to bring you down at their level, it means that they are already below you and they know it. It could be something very small, but as you do the inner work, you can read these signs as an open book. And you perceive when your friend, somebody who you trusted with all your heart, now is secretly jealous of you and tries to push you away from the spotlight because they want the spotlight for themselves. And this should never happen in female friendships. If you spot anything like this, remove the friendship. It doesn't work. Women can be very competitive. I'm very lucky because in my life I always had a small circles and I really trust my friends. I would never imagine they being mean with me because I'm really selective. So before you become my friend, there's a long process. It's not that easy, and once you're in, you're in. But again, if you do something that I don't appreciate, now I speak up and I distance myself, so I'm always watching, but I do trust my friends. It's difficult to have female friends because they're always competing, comparing, who's the prettiest and this and that, and we don't want anything like this in your level up journey because queens fix each other's crown. And personally, now I only want friends that are happy with their lives, that are healthy, and they are too busy watering their own grass to look if mine is greener. And of course, not everybody is at the level where they wish to be, but you can tell if they're genuine, if they're working on themselves, trying to improve their situation. And that's totally fine. We don't have to only hang out with millionaires and people who have their shit together, because I don't have my shit together at all. Well, not at all, but like I'm working on it at least. And a lot of my friends are. In the same way, now you see huge red flags in dating and relationships and you don't accept poor behavior anymore. That's not in your vocabulary. Also, you're more mature. You learn not to react to everything, but to respond. If somebody treats you poorly, you don't make a scene. You don't have to criticize that person in public or on social media and be like a child. You simply remove access to you and remove yourself from the situation, and that's it. You move on. Don't waste your energy. That's the bottom line in everything. One example that shows that you're doing the inner work is that you are no longer attracted to the bad boys. You know, when you grow up and you have a crush on the villains in movies, or in high school you have a crush on the guy who smokes weed and fails all his exams. When you do the inner work, you're no longer attracted to the bad boys who maybe are drinkers, playboys, sleep with a lot of women. No, you want a gentleman, somebody who treats you right. And before you think the good guy was so boring, but now you don't tolerate anything less. Know your worth and know your standards. This is common, especially if you are a good girl. It's very common for you to be attracted to the bad boy. But as you do the inner work, you're going to heal that, and you can create a loving relationship with somebody who is actually healthy. It sounds unfamiliar, but it's possible. And another consequence of doing the inner work is that less and less guys will approach you. Not because you're not beautiful anymore, but because the way you show up in the world is different. When I was younger, I would always get approached by dozens of men in nightclubs and pubs. I was always surrounded. But now that I'm older, and I don't think I'm less beautiful than I was, I can see that men still look at me, but they are a bit more hesitant in making the first move, in coming and talk to me. They just look and they're a bit unsure what to do, and some people tell me I'm intimidating, which really, why? What did I do? And same thing happens with DMs on Instagram. Years ago, I would get a lot of DMs, even from creeps saying all sorts of things, because I didn't have strong boundaries. Now I get way less DMs, and usually they're different. They're no longer, oh, what I do to you, what would I do to you? They're more like, I love your energy, I love your outlook on life, you're very inspiring, things like this. So we can start a conversation properly. So remember that you're leveling up, and it is actually a good thing if you get approached by less men and you get less DMs. Next point, and this is one of my favorite, is something I'm truly passionate about. You can no longer work 9 to 5 or in a job that you don't like. Your energy is too precious to be given away like that. As if you didn't have a direction, you didn't have a purpose, you didn't have self-worth. I love that this video is really dark feminine energy vibes. I love it so much. I'm going to make a video just on dark feminine energy. Not one video, probably 10 videos, because it changed my life. This is how you set boundaries. Once you know who you are, you can no longer put up a good employee mask, a good girl mask, and work for other people pretending to be somebody you're not. Your blood will boil in your veins because you're betraying yourself. You can do it for a while, of course. Not everybody is born rich, like none of us actually. We all have to do the work. But while you work for other people, make sure you have your dreams, your side hustle, your business aside, and work on that every day or as much as you can to get yourself out of slavery. Please do it. Do yourself a favor. Do your children a favor. Do all the future generation a favor. Build your own empire. When you do the inner work, you can no longer have fake conversations just because you have to play a role. You can no longer talk about the weather. You can no longer do small talk. You can no longer do tasks that don't align with who you are. You can no longer be surrounded by people that don't align with your vision of life. None of that. And it's hard because I quit my job many times, and you have to have something on the side. And I failed many times. A lot of times I quit my job thinking, okay, I'm going to work on my passions. I'm a musician. I play on the street. I do busking. But it never really worked out for me. I keep trying and trying. And I will keep trying until the day I die. I don't only have basking now. I've written a book. I have my YouTube channel. I have my passions that keep me alive in my spare time. And I understand that not many people do the inner work. Imagine you want to level up and you end up with no job, no friends. It's a price to pay, but I promise you that past this point, everything is gonna get better. You're going to make room for what truly aligns one day, one step at a time. Next point is really spicy, and it's connected to what we were saying earlier. You can no longer sleep with random people. Your energy, your feminine energy, is too precious to be given to just anyone. A man needs to earn your energy. He needs to prove to you that he's high value and he wants to protect you and he cares about you. This is just the bare minimum. I'm not saying that he has to be your partner for life, but he has to respect you and honor you as a woman. And be careful here, follow your intuition, because some men will do anything just to sleep with a woman, including pretending to be somebody they're not, or showering you with gifts, the so-called love bombing after 2 weeks. You know, they shower you with compliments. Oh, you're the most beautiful woman I ever seen. So your ego gets blown away and you're completely blind to the red flags. And this is not only because they want to have pleasure and are addicted to sex. It's because they want a little bit of that energy that you have, that radiance, that honeypot. And I cannot blame them for that. They're like bees attracted to the flowers. I would do the same thing if I was a man. We are irresistible. And not only that, but our energy, our sexual energy and creative energy is extremely powerful. And men know this. And they want to feel powerful. So they want something that they don't have. They want it for themselves. But make sure they also give to you. They don't just take all of that from you and leave you depleted. For this reason, when you are intimate with your partner, your boyfriend, your husband, your soulmate, your twin flame, it doesn't feel like a waste. It feels like an exchange. You're giving each other energy. Your souls are merging together. And this is what I believe. And I also believe that whenever you're intimate with somebody, you absorb also all their traumas, their past experiences, anything, their worries. Make sure you assess the situation before. There's this theory that all their traumas and worries, they remain in our body for 7 years. I'm not sure about this theory, but it's out there, and you know, be careful. Also with your partner, although you love each other, you don't automatically sleep with him just because he bought you flowers, although that helps. You make sure he's really aligned with you, and in that moment, that's what your body wants, what your soul wants, what your heart wants. Another dark side of leveling up and doing the inner work, can you imagine? No job, no money, no love. Another point, and I love this one as well, even if years ago I couldn't imagine this life for me, but as soon as you start doing the inner work, you start investing money in yourself, in organic foods, supplements, massages, spa day, the gym, clothes, hair products, hobbies, and online courses, books, anything to level up, because you want to keep expanding your mind and your skills. And this is amazing. Not really a dark side. apart that you're going to spend money, but that's not bad, and we're going to talk about this. You start to see money differently. Money is energy and needs to go around. Money is an exchange. So you no longer think, oh, I spent 50 euro on groceries. You think, I exchange 50 euro for healthy foods that are going to make my skin glow, they're going to give me energy and make me feel amazing. That's how you see it. You don't see the loss, you see everything that you gain. So you're no longer so scared to let money go, especially if it's for yourself. You respect yourself so much that you can no longer put junk food inside of your body. Once you know what's in there, you really stop craving burgers, fries, snacks, crisps, all sort of processed foods that are not good for you and don't give you any energy. I guarantee you that when you do the inner work, you start craving salmon salads and prawns. Of course, you can have a little treat every once in a while. It's okay. We are women, our body changes, our hormones change, and sometimes we do crave the burger and fries, and it's okay. You can totally have it. But on a regular basis, I guarantee you that your body is not going to crave that food once you do the inner work. Also, lately, I'm trying to go 100% natural. I would like to switch to natural laundry detergent because there's so many chemicals in the laundry detergent that you buy in the shop, and then you wear the clothes and you absorb all those extra chemicals on top of your deodorant, perfume, anything else. So I'm trying to stay as clean as possible and eat as natural, organic as possible and change everything. I want to invest in a natural shampoo, natural conditioner, skincare, shower gel, as much as possible. And years ago, when you told me these things, I would say, no, there's no need. We look like high maintenance now. But just because we know ourselves and we know how precious our body is, and we don't want to harm it in any ways. And that's another thing. You can no longer do anything that harms you. When you're healed, when you properly have healed, you don't fall into that trap anymore. And this is one of the best sides of it. So that's it for today's video. I know we went a little bit in the depths, but I love dark feminine energy. I love boundaries. It takes time though to raise your standards. So do small exercises at a time. Start saying no when you mean no and be firm. Don't always think about what the other person is going to say, feel. Is none of your business. Just always try to be calm. Don't be reactive and screaming because you don't want to put yourself in a bad spot or in a dangerous situation. Just be yourself and it's going to become more and more natural. It's like a muscle. The more you train to respect yourself, the more natural it becomes. And now when I turn down plans that don't align with me, when I don't eat a hot dog full of sauces because I know that I'm not going to feel good after, I don't feel guilty anymore. I don't have to justify my choices with anybody. I hope this video helped you to set strong boundaries as well and never feel guilty about it again. Thank you for watching and see you next Sunday with our next video. Love you. Bye.